Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you're watching around the world. You're joining the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. We are on round 3. It is obviously Silverstone. I'm Energy Dan, and joining me in the commentary box is last season's champion. Welcome, Wieslander.
Thank you.
How you doing, mate?
Looking forward again?
Yeah.
I'm doing good, and you?
Yeah, very well, mate. Very looking forward to this, though. It's going to be a pretty razzle-dazzle event tonight, I do believe.
This is one for the Brits. They got to do it tonight because it's their track. So.
Well, do you know what? I never even thought of that.
Yeah, lots of Brits in there, so I reckon this is the best track for them.
Right, cool. Do you know, I never even thought of that, Wise. So yeah, it'd be pretty embarrassing if it wasn't won by a Brit. So let's hope one of the boys can pull it out of the bag for us. Just before we actually joined, we were speaking with one of our media correspondents, and we've actually found out that one of the racers tonight was setting a blistering lap, almost on F1 pace from Monday night. I won't tell you who it is, but
what was the lap time?
1:26.7, I believe.
Yeah, that's quick. That's very quick.
Yeah, so I'm not going to spoil it for the viewers, but there is someone that is tipped to be at the front of the qualifying grid. So it'd be interesting to see if that comes true. So I'm not going to, as we said before, the commentator's curse is staying firmly in the box this season. It's not going to get pulled out whatsoever. So I'm going to try and curb that one. But yeah, so Silverstone. Whew, what do you want to say about Silverstone, Morris?
I mean, as I said before, it's such a historical track. That's just one thing why you would be looking forward to this. And also because of the weather, I guess, because I think we've got a pretty high chance of rain tonight.
Yeah, I think that'd excite things up as well. But like we were saying in the hot laps, you know, Silverstone's got 3 DRS zones that are all individually detected. So there's none of this, you know, double DRS zones for being within 1 second. So I think that's definitely going to play into people's hands. It's going to keep the racing, the overtakes at a high percentage, I reckon. Of course.
Yeah, certainly. And it's also going to be very powerful, the DRS. It's going to be very important to stay in someone's DRS. And as long as you can do that, you can pretty much stick with someone. Even though you haven't got the pace, maybe you can still just cruise behind them in the slipstream.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the track layout as well, it's a high throttle circuit. You know, you're on the throttle for a high percentage of the lap around Silverstone. And like we said before, particularly from Luffield all the way to Stowe, you've got the middle section of Maggots and Beckett's, but that section is a super high-speed section. I mean, coming to the end of Stowe, you get 325 kilometres per hour as you hit the speed trap there, and before you want to start braking for Stowe. So it'd be interesting to see what guys do on fuel, because it's going to be quite a heavy fuel usage track, I believe. What do you reckon to fuel round here, Warris?
Yeah, it will, and it will be, and yeah, I think with fuel, obviously the game really kind of takes that into account. So I don't think you have to put in a lot of extra fuel. But you can't run in rich mix too long, because that will really compromise you then later on in the race. And as you were just saying, the throttle that the guys are on so long, all the way from Luffields almost to
Stowe.
You know, to Stowe, and also through Maggots Baggage, you barely brake.
Yeah.
Which means that the brakes get very cold as soon as you come to a braking zone. So that is also a thing, that really requires people to be good on the brakes. So that is also a thing where we can see the difference between good drivers and very good drivers tonight.
Yeah. So you reckon we could maybe see potential overtakes at Stowe with people going wide because the brakes are cold? Is that pretty much it for Stowe?
Where did you say? Like in the last chicane or something?
Yeah, as you come out of Maggots and Beckett's and through Chapel, down the last DRS zone, you get to Stowe, you're thinking the brakes are going to be cold there?
Yeah, of course, it's going to be tricky sometimes, and there will obviously be people who are going to profit from that. So yeah, it's just it's really a tricky circuit, and you really got to be on it. You got to have it into your hands. You have to do the practice to really get that feeling and get that flow into the track. So we can also see, you can probably see on the track the drivers who've done the much practice.
Yeah.
So they will have the better pace probably.
I just want to add one thing, Waris, as well, before we do the tables. I want to redeem myself, because it was bugging me when you asked me about what the straight was called. And I had a total brain sleep moment. It's the Wellington Straight.
Yeah, that's it.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I don't know why I forgot that, to be honest with you. It's rather embarrassing for myself, so I'll take that one on the chin and move on. But so yeah, just before the guys get ready to jump in the cars and go, have you got the tables in front of you, or do you want me to run through them?
Just run through them, and I'll give my opinion on it.
Sound. So the top three, obviously Lozak and Aaron J. Spence taking some decent some positions on the podium in the first two races. Lozak sitting on 30 points, with Aaron J. Spence trailing by 8 points. So looking very good for them too.
Yeah, of course, Lozak has done a very good job already this season. So of course we're expecting quite a lot from him, and those guys are just doing a massive job up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Colin Jay's tied second, really, if you think about it, because he's on. It's Colin Jay and TB23. They're on joint third place, both with 12 points. So very easy for them two to move up from where they are. And then in fifth, Ferocious Dan, he's only sitting at 11 points. So going down the order, it's still very tight at the top. I'll do it quickly before we actually join. So then after Ferocious Dan, it's RG44, then Tony Y in 7th, Gaming Alamondo in 8th, MJ Coop in 9th, and then Delange in 10th. Tankers in 11th, and we've also got Sab in 12th. Last scorers, we've got Humberstone 13th, Captain's in 14th, and then Estimats with the last point scoring in 15th. So a few drivers still yet to score. It'd be interesting to see if we can actually see some scoring from the likes of Ike's Fun, Nick, Matty, Mr. Steen. It'd be good to see scoring positions from these guys today. So let's watch out for those.
Yeah, really, because it's not that those are the worst drivers of this grid, because Mr. Steen was in the championship fight last year. Nick has won the championship already. Ike's Fun was very good, and Matty as well, of course. So I really expect those guys actually to go for the points today.
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, Silverstone's one of those tracks that, and there we go, Warislander. It is raining for qualifying.
It is. Thank you very much. I'll just ask the weatherman on location if this is the case for the race too, and then you can start the coverage of the qualifying.
That would be absolutely fantastic. Imagine if it's a wet race. Wow. So there you go, guys. It's going to be a wet qualifying. I'm sure one of our media representatives will let us know whether it's going to be a dry or wet race or a mixed race. So that'll be very interesting to see. But yeah, so wet qualifying. I think, guys,
so tricky. I'm curious to see if maybe the rain dries up near the end of the session. So I've asked that too, because then we could see also a lot of people just staying in, just waiting for the stuff to dry up. But this is just, you really want to get a good banker lap in now, because it's just going to be so tricky.
Yeah.
If you spin now in this lap, your confidence is gone, and it's just going to be only harder and harder to get a good lap in. So I don't expect these guys to go on the limit now. I think they just want to get just a lap in.
Oh yeah, I imagine so as well. Of course, we don't know if this is the lightest it's going to be, and whether people. By looking at it, there's only a few people out the pits, so that says to me it's not going to get any drier, and it's certainly not going to get any wetter. I think we're just going to see this throughout the qualifying session. That's what my thoughts are.
Yeah, it could just be like the light rain for the entire session, because it's not like everyone goes out instantly, but it's also not like that everyone just waits for the rain to ease off. So at this point it looks like that, but I'm just waiting to get the confirmation from the location itself, so we can really be sure of that. Quali full, wet and dry race, I just heard now.
Okay,
so,
wow.
So I think that means that Inter throughout quali, so it's just going to be the same weather condition in quali and the dry race. So that could also just see a lot of mix-ups, I guess.
Yeah,
because some people will be good in the rain, but maybe a bit less in the dry and turn around as well. So that could be a lot of overtakes and weird strategies into the race. Also, the guys can start on fresh tires then, which also makes a big difference with the guys being able to pit later on the softs.
Yeah,
which is also really a positive thing for the.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly be happy qualifying in the wet. I think I'd get better times, but, you know, it'd be interesting to see. But we're just on board with Ferocious Dan now. He's doing his first hot lap. We're just right on board with him, see what the traction's like. But already we can see a sort of a line appearing, so it's not massively wet conditions, but, you know, it's wet enough to be slowing these times down considerably. Obviously, DRS isn't activated in wet conditions, so that's another thing that brings the lap times down. You see him now, he just seems to still have a lot of traction in them damp conditions. There's no stepping out from the rear. So I imagine this is going to be something like a 137, do you think, or 138?
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
So just coming down
as I'm just thinking, you did have the weather condition right when we just did the hot laps, because first we were in wet weather, and then I said, okay, we should just do the dry because that's normal. Yeah. But actually, we should have done that.
yeah, that'd have been interesting. So maybe if anyone out there that's listening or watching back, if you watch the hot laps, let Warriors and I know what you want us to do in terms of the hot laps. Do we just leave it on dynamic weather and we just, you know, play the cards as they fall, so to speak, or do we always do dry? So let us know what you think, guys. But if you want to see us do wet hot laps or dry hot laps, or a mix. So yeah, just on board with Ferocious Dan now.
Just stepping out a little bit there.
Yeah,
there was the only unbalanced moment of the lap, so I reckon this should be quite a good lap time. Maybe it was also just very careful.
Yeah, 140.3. Yeah. So not bad at all. So let's just see if we can find out who's next to cross the line. That'll be if I put the tyre detail on.
Oh, Seb got to 142.7, so that indicates that it was quite a good lap time from Dan.
So yeah, we're just seeing Captain Stiff going wide there. That'll invalidate his time, but Lozak comes through on a 149.755, struggling on those intermediates. TB2, just watching him come round the last few corners. He looks like he's stepping out as well. So drivers do look to be struggling on these intermediates. Let's just see what Lozak comes across the line on. Lozak comes across the line 149.755. Yeah, he's struggling as well. Sorry, I've mentioned him. It's TB2 that we're watching. I do apologise.
But it's also it's actually an incredible lap from Ferocious Dan, because he's got a lot of drivers behind him already, and he had the wettest track as well, because he went out first, which means that he didn't have the best dry line.
Well, I'll just have to interrupt you there, mate. Humberstone 140.5. They're nipping at his heels. Is Nick J. Thompson on a 140, and he's just been dropped down 140.8, but then MJ Coop sets the blistering wet time on a 147.31. So majority of the front field packs sitting around the 140 mark. Captain Stephen Ballard.
And SMS has gone under it. SMS has gone under it. He's gone for 39. Wow. So that's going to be the time to beat.
So yeah, TB2's 141.9. Have I done something? Yeah. Why is he not registered? It must have invalidated his lap time. So yeah, it looks like TB2 went wide somewhere. Captain Stiff and TB2 succumbing to track limits, as we see. Who was that went up? Matty, was that on 141? Oh, was that Dan?
And Dan did another good lap on worn tyres as well.
Wow, and so Aaron J also.
Oh, Lozak.
Wow. So Lozak coming across with a 139.474. Absolute blistering time on those intermediates.
Yeah, so lots of guys just putting a lot of fuel in and going for a few more laps than just one. Probably you just get the feeling in the wet. Because everyone always does a lot more practice in the dry than in the wet, so these guys really have to get the feeling and the flow in the wet now, and it's not just about pure low fuel best tire laps.
I mean, I think we'll see these times start to come down, because there's a constant stream of guys running around the circuit, not drying the track out, but creating a runway within the moisture on the track for the guys behind. As you can see now, riding on board with IG4. 44, who's coming around the last few corners. He's doing pretty well. He's on 135. Can he pin it? Let's just see. It's going to run over, I think. Yeah, 140.4. Moves up into 6th place. That's his first hot lap as well. So I reckon we're going to see improvements. Just on board with Tanker. Yeah, he's down on his time by almost a second. So maybe he's made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, he's really just not going for it anymore. And he's going again now, I guess.
Yeah, I reckon he will. I reckon everyone else is going to come in the pits. Like Mr. Steen's about to come out, and I think we're going to see Tanker do another hot lap. So he's down on that lap, so let's just see what Tanker can pull out the bag here. You can see that
might have been. He went a little bit close to that curve, so that might have been an invalidated lap, but we'll see if he.
Has he backed off here? Oh. Yeah, I think he's backed off. Yeah, he's down. Yeah,
so I think he invalidated the lap time.
So Ike's Fun's come out.
There's some retirements at the same time. It's Coop and Estimate, who's in second, so that's kind of a blow for him. Well, as he could have gone for the pole with that time.
Estimates might just have said he's happy with that, you know, and wants just.
Has he retired in the pit? Has he retired in the pit lane?
He might have done, yeah. He's not left the session, so. So yeah, just looking down the board, not bad at all. Mr. Steen's just set a provisional lap of 142.522. He's going to see if he can better that on his hot lap. So yeah, he's running down the order. RG44 in 139.278. So a blistering lap from him. Then followed by him is Lozak 139.474. Estimats in third, then Frustan in fourth. Captain Stiff has improved on his previous lap. And then we just see is that TB2 that jumped up? I believe it was TB2 that jumped up. No, maybe it was... totally missed that, I do apologise. But just looking down the order now, Warris, it looks like everyone's on multiple laps, apart from Ike's Fun and Mrs. Steen.
And I think Dan's come out, well,
yeah.
New tires.
And Lozak's just come out as well. So let's just try and find out of these guys who's going to be the next hot lapper. Yeah, so, Ike's Fun, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lozak and versus Dan both have come out on new tires, so they will be going for a very good lap time right now.
So just on board with Ike's Fun on his first hot lap. He's come out late. He's obviously let the track evolve a little bit. This might play into his hands, but we'll soon see. We have got a yellow flag in sector 3. So yeah, I was off with the predicted qualifying time so far by a good 2.2 seconds, Warris. So, and Ike's Fun goes wide, invalidating his lap. So I imagine he will go again. So Warris is on a slow lap. He's going to be setting a hot lap next.
Oh, I just hear some information from Coop. He's been interviewed and he says that he lost the car and Estimus was right behind him and they both crashed out because of that. So it wasn't a retirement on purpose. So a massive blow for the Red Bull team. Because the teammates as well. And the first rule in racing is never hit each other. I don't think Christian Horner will be too happy about that one.
I don't think he will. However, you could almost forgive the drivers in these difficult conditions, but...
Yeah, obviously, it's so tricky.
But like you say, it's almost unforgivable is crashing into your teammate or taking your teammate out, let's say. So yeah, it's just running down the order. RG's done 3 laps on those, so he's going to come in. But Lozak's come out on some fresh tyres as well. But I believe Mr. Steen that we're on board with is going to run over massively on this time. He's already on nearly 115 and he's not even finished sector 2 yet.
So I'm just watching Ferocious Dan now. He's going for his quick lap and Lozak is as well. But I believe Ferocious Dan is further into the lap, so let's see what he can do. I think he did a very good lap on new tires right at the beginning. So this could be his one.
Yeah, we'll soon see. Not long to wait. We're coming down to the last 6.5 minutes now. So let's see exactly what happens. Lozak is on a hot lap, by the way, Warris.
Yeah, he is now.
I think Ferocious Dan. Wasn't Ferocious Dan on his out lap?
No, he is. Oh, yeah, he's on his out lap. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, mate. No worries. So just watching on board with Lozak coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. Just slightly lift. Double shift down. He's now in the 5th gear. Just coming through Chapel now. As we get where we would normally pick up the gas. Oof. Do you think that's invalidated?
That's very tricky. Maybe just you're right. Let's see. He doesn't back out of it, so.
Yeah, he's going for it still. Lovely control there as he just shifts down. Oh, that's definitely invalidated.
Yeah, no, you can go wide there.
Oh, really?
Allows you to, so. Yeah, but he goes very deep into this corner. Was just down with the quickest time, so he was on a hot lap, but the game just didn't tell it. 139.1, and what can Lozak do?
Wow.
Wow.
Almost a 139 dead.
Incredible.
That's as close as you can get to a bullseye.
Can we see 138 here? That's the question. Can we see 138?
I guessed at 137.5, but you know, I think that was a bit ambitious. But yeah, I think there's potential there. There is potential there. Frosistan's still going for a second hot lap, I believe. Or is he?
I think these guys will try to go back in and just go for one more lap, possibly. Lots of guys on out laps too now, so.
Yeah, we've got Humberstone coming to the end of Sector 3 now. He's coming through Vale and about to tackle Club. He's looking pretty good, actually, if he can get this pinned. He looks slow on the traction there, though. I reckon he could have done better than that. 139.322, not bad at all. Just on board with Aaron J. Oh, he's on an outlap, sorry. Colin J. Coming to the end of Sector 2 is Colin J. Ooh, it looks like he's getting a lot of understeer there. So it looks like Colin J just ever so slightly struggling a little bit more than everyone else. Can he improve? He's coming down the international pitch straight there. Let's watch what he does as he comes through Maggots and Beckett's. Let's see if he can keep this nice and tidy. Quite conservative.
Yeah. This is very tricky in the wet because also in the dry, you just want to get a little bit of oversteer to get the car turned into it. But if you've got that in the rain, the car will slip from you and you will have no lap time. So that was nicely done by him. Now well, let's see what he can do.
He's half a second up on his previous time in Sector 2. So as long as he doesn't drop any time, he's at least half a second improvement, which would bring him pretty much all the way up to around Nick's position. Actually, no, a little bit more. It'd be probably around TB2 in P7 if he can keep it. As you see what he does. Wow. Yeah, very good lap. Yeah, P8. So just slots in behind TB23. So brilliant lap from Colin J there. Looked like he got it a lot tidier. Who else we got? 2 laps them. Looking down. It's Gaming Alamonda. Let's see whereabouts he is. Sector 3. He's also up on his time by 3/10. Looking pretty tidy there.
And is he coming in or is he coming out? Yeah, versus Dan is coming out of the pits right now. So he's going out for a lap, and it looks like Lozak isn't going to make it because he's all the way down the hanger straight now, and he has to go into the pits to get new tires if he wants to get a good lap. So Ferocious Dan could be the one for pole tonight if he can just get a little bit of a better time. And Lozak might just try it once again on the worn tires.
Yeah.
But probably, of course, that won't be the best situation you want to be in.
Well, just touching on what we covertly discussed earlier, I'll give you a clue. In the top 5 is the driver that was tipped to be pole, by the way.
Ah, really?
Yes. So think of that. Think of that. What you want.
In the wet, so.
True. But yeah, so it'd be
So are you going to tell me after the qualifying, because I'm quite curious?
Yeah, I'll let you know after qualifying. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So just looking down, it's phenomenal how close they are from P1 even back to P10. It's all less than 9/10. So really, really good for the top 10 there to be so close in the wet.
Yeah, certainly in the wet. Yeah. So Lozak is going for one more lap now. Of course, not the best tire condition, so I'm gunning for that on this one.
So I think Lozak just get a little bit compromised there. Running behind that Haas.
So if you watch...
Wow.
Lozak, I'll watch Ferocious Dan and keep you updated on the...
Yeah, perfect, yeah.
Time.
Oh, I don't know what's happening here, but Lozak, if he's on a hot lap, he's not anymore because he's just been severely... Oh, now the Haas moves aside. So for a good 6 corners, the Haas was in the way then. If he's on a hot lap, that's just ruined his lap. So I wouldn't be very happy if I was Lozak there because it did look like he was on a hot lap. This time won't be quick. Yeah. It won't be quick at all because of that.
Maybe we'll see something in the steward's office.
Yeah, I imagine that's a guaranteed there, mate. I really do.
Versus Dan now coming to the end of sector 1, and he's 30 thousandths up on his time. So
wow,
the lap is still good. He just needs to find 1/10 now in the remaining 2 seconds. Sectors.
Lozak's gone. He's not completing this lap. I doubt we'll have time to get across the line to set a faster lap. So if Ferocious Dan, in fact, let's go Ferocious Dan because Lozak has pulled out of it. So let's stay on board. Oh no! Ferocious Dan goes wide. Oh.
That could be an invalidated lap time for him. Sometimes when you go very wide, the game does allow it, but
because it's slower normally, yeah. It looks like he's still got it pinned.
Oh, it's 3/10 under his time. This could be the pole lap. The question only is it invalidated or not?
Well, he seems to have that accelerator pretty well glued to the floor, Warris, so I don't imagine it has been. Unless he just wants to prove what time he can get.
Coming out of the final turn.
Looks like got good traction, 37.38.
Over the line.
Oh!
And it's a full lap.
138.970.
Oh my god, what a lap is that?
Warris, the bookies were right. The tip was right.
Yeah, that shows that he's got great pace on the track.
Wow. So yeah, you got it as well. You said, could we see 138s? And we did by, 30 thousandths of a second. So, wow. Whew. Amazing there. So let's just quickly run down. Is there anyone else on a hot lap?
Oh no, Spencer's gone to pole. Oh my god.
I was just saying, is anyone else on a hot lap? And Aaron J just beat it and did a 138.753.
Oh
wow.
My god, legendary lap out there. Just legendary.
Oh, Nick jumps up to P6 with a 139.427. He breaks the 140 barrier. Wow. Let's check on with Matty. He's coming around the final corner. Yeah, he stays 14th with a 140.238. Apologies to our viewers if Warris and I broke the microphones there. But that was really surprising to see Aaron J shoot up like that. So a brilliant lap. Only 2 drivers breaking the 139s there. So yeah, absolutely brilliant from the guys. I will start giving the rundown. We'll have to obviously continue once we get the screen back. But Aaron J taking pole, Ferocious Dan P2, Lozak in P3, RG44 in 4th, Humberstone P5, Nick J Thompson in P6, Tanker 903 in P7, Estimats with an unfortunate incident with MJ Coupe in P8, Ike's Full in P9, and then TB23 in P10. So we've got to remember as well, Warris, before we continue the final qualifying, is with it being a wet race, everybody's going to start on fresh tyres and fresh tyre choice. So anyway, in P11 is Colin J. Gaming Alamonda is in P11, P12, sorry. Captain Stiff is in 13. Matty is in 14. Sab in 15. MJ Coupe in 16. Steen in 17th. So fresh tyres for the race, Warriors. What do you think of that?
Well, of course, the guys will be very happy, and that means they can go a little bit longer on the soft tire, which is always beneficial, I guess. So before I was expecting the pit stop to be around lap 10, now maybe lap 12, 13. So that just shifts up the pit window a little bit.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a dry race, so we are going to see a dry race, which will be super interesting compared to that wet qualifying. So 17 races tonight?
Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Go on, Wes.
Oh, so as we can see already on the screen, the rain has gone away and the sunshine has come. The clouds are filled with a lot of blue around them. So I think lots of drivers will be very happy about this. And I'll just be curious to see if there's some drivers who are just not that good in the rain, but a lot better in the dry. So we can just see them shift up. I think we can see a lot of position changes and shift arounds in this race.
I agree, mate. It's going to be close. I'm just wondering about tyre choice. Do you think we're going to see a full grid on softs, or do you think we're going to get some brave drivers that try and do the reverse strategy and go medium to soft to be quicker at the end?
I think that could also be a very good one, a very good strategy. As long as you can stay into the DRS of the soft guys, stay close, keep that train going, and you can go on to the mediums around the same time, maybe 1 or 2 laps later. You can have a very good run at the end. So I would be very intrigued to see some guys doing that.
Yeah, I would also. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be pretty concerned tonight about the Wellington Straight and into Brooklands, as well as Stowe. Stowe, obviously, like you covered earlier, Warris, it's going to be cold brakes by the time you've done that, super flat out section all the way from Lovefield. But coming out of the Wellington Straight into Brooklands, you touched on it on the hot laps. It's very tricky. You have to go quite, approach it wide and then turn in. But I reckon with high fuel loads, we might see a couple of drivers going wide to the right of turn 6, approaching Lovefield, coming through Brooklands. So they're the 2 areas I want to pay attention to, especially during the first 4, 5, maybe even 6 laps.
Yeah, because the run you get out of Lovefield is so important if you want to make the mistake, or if you want to make the overtake into, the penultimate corner before the last chicane. What's it called?
Sorry, I was doing something there. What did you say, sorry, Weiss?
So the penultimate corner just before the last chicane, how is it called again?
Stowe, and then you get to come through Vale, and then Club is the last corner.
Yeah, so it's Vale, yeah, because if you want to make the overtake into Vale, it's so important to get a good exit out of Lovefield already, because from there on you got to start slipstreaming and stuff, and then you can already start lining it up. So it will be very important to go a little bit wide, but not too wide, because then you can get your tires dirty, and it's all just such fine margins. So that's also why this track is so tricky.
I mean, just as we discussed before we came on our formation lap, if you look at the tyre graphic on the left there's a lot of drivers that have done the medium start strategy. More than I thought would, to be honest with you. There's
that's so cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of guys that are going to try and do that reverse strategy. Use the hard tyres with the high fuel. And then obviously be much faster at the end on those softs with a light fuel load. So yeah, I think we're pretty much right on that one. A lot of drivers doing the reverse strategy.
Yeah, so Aaron J and Ferocious Dan really gotta help each other. Maybe Aaron let Dan get into the slipstream so they can break away. Because that's going to be, as we've touched upon earlier in earlier races as well. If you go into the softs in the beginning, you have to break away from the medium guys in the beginning. Because otherwise they can just stick in the DRS and stay close to you.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I mean, I think Steen's going to struggle on the back on those softs. Sitting behind 16 other racers, you're gonna be in dirty air all the time.
Yeah, because you gotta make the overtakes if you want to get a good result, and it's just not going to be easy. Actually now he thinks probably I should have been on the mediums.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that one, mate. I think Game Langamonda could be in a good position to maybe jump Colin and TB on the start and get onto the back of Estimats and Ike's fun. Because as long as those guys can either make way on the medium tie guys at the front, they've got a possibility of catching Aaron J and Ferocious Dan. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see exactly what can happen there. Right, I'm just going to change the detail for as we are about to get off now. And we've got 1 light, we've got 2 lights, we've got 3 lights, 4 lights and 5. And it's lights out there. Oh, we've got an amazing start from the Ferrari and the Haas in the background there. So they got a massively jump start. Not a jump start, but they got a great jump on everyone. Paid attention there. Just coming clean. Don't like we're losing anyone there. But Aaron J's made an amazing start. Ferocious Dan, very good. But he's got that racing point of Lozak on his tail already. Nick also sticking at his tail. I was seeing a couple of people chopping and changing. RG44 getting overtaken by Nick J. Thompson. He's up now. And he's battling as well. What are you watching, Warris?
I'm just watching the same as you, but as you said, a jump start, the one who did get a jump start was Tanker. So the hold on the 5 lights was just a little bit too long for him, and he's already got a drive-through penalty to his name.
So we did see a jump start from the Ferrari, but the second car that we saw, the Haas, must just have been an amazing getaway. As we're seeing Nick J. Thompson and RG44 battling it out. Going side by side, switching again. Oh, it just looks like the Haas of Nick J. Thompson.
Gaming Alamonda spun.
Gaming as we saw Gaming Alamonda there spin.
He just touched with, I can't remember who it was again. I believe it was TB. Yeah, so it's a big shame for him. And He's right at the back, maybe possibly even a bit of front wing damage.
Wow, unfortunately from Gareth and Sab. So we saw Nick just having a bit of a rear tank slapper, and that's dropped him behind his teammate of Humberstone. Humberstone now run up into 5th position. Just looking at our leader, Aaron J, he's bringing out a lead of almost 6/10 now, with Lozak on the medium still sticking with him within 3/10. DRS not activated just yet. Humberstone sticking to the back of RG44 with Estimats now up into 6th. So it looks like Nick J Thompson has had some issues. What is happening to Nick? Nick's dropping down. He's in the pits. So people are coming into the pits because of damage or maybe cooking the tyres. But already seen some changes up there. What have you got, Waris?
So yeah, what really stands out now is that the top 3 have broke away already. 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest. And for the guys on the softs, that is just very normal. But the one who's been very good is Lozak, because he's on mediums and with the guys on softs. So he's really looking very good in this race if he can stay in the DRS next lap.
Right, well, it just looks like, if you look at the top there, Waris, we have got our P1 to P5 back in their original positions that they started. So it looks like that start was a little bit of an overtake central, but they have settled back down into their relevant starting positions. Looking back, so other than the game I'm under, Nick and Tanker, everyone's either up 2 or 3 positions, apart from Steen, who's made, he's up to P13, 4 positions. So brilliant stuff from Steen. Let's hope he can keep that momentum throughout the race.
Yeah, now Dan coming very close to Aaron. He's really looking feisty, really looking able to fight. And of course this lap we are going to get DRS. So we might see already some overtakes.
So our front 2 runners still on those soft tyres, but Lozak, he's sticking to the back of the gearbox. Atrocious damn, mate. I think Lozak's made the right call here. Because he's just, like you said, he's just using these to pull him along. He's probably sitting, probably lean fuel here, just, sitting in there, just not going too hard on the tyres, saving them, just staying attached to them.
Yeah, and he's even closer to Dan as Dan is to Aaron, so everything is working out perfectly for him. He's just wanting to stay behind here and extend through his pit window, and then at the end of the race he will really have the upper hand.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I really do. Just looking down the order, we've got TB23 really close on the back of Ike's Fun. We're going to see a move from him. He's medium tyre versus medium tyre. Actually, the graphics saying soft, so I think we'll go with the soft tyre for Ike's Fun. We're showing mediums on the screen, but we always go with the table because that's the more accurate. Looks like TB23 just got a little bit out of shape there. He's gone back. He has gone, but he has shown softs now. So it looks like the mediums. I would say a pretty much good call. Maybe these softs are overheating a little bit too much. What do you reckon, Morris?
Yeah, it is. And now Dan looking very close to. They just couldn't make the move. Lozak coming close now, but they are just staying in formation to this point. Side by side into the final chicane. No, Lozak is just staying behind them, just sticking behind them, and
he'll have DRS though, mate. DRS will open up. Yeah. No, that's the international pitch straight. I do apologise. So just approaching Maggots and Beckett's now.
No, they were on the actual pitch straight, but they don't have a DRS there anymore. It was only last year.
Yeah, that was my mistake. Sorry, mate. So they are sitting very close to each other. This is going to be an interesting part of the race, I believe. I've just seen Estimats encroaching on the back of Humberstone, and that just quickly check because he was within a tenth then. So Estimats running the soft tyre, and Humberstone's on the medium. So maybe Estimats has been able to keep these softs cool because he's sticking to the back of Humberstone. They are all still quite close together. Let's just quickly see what it is to the leader. So there's your gap to the leader. So all the way back to P12, Mrs. Steen, or sorry, yeah, even like MJ Coop at 13 seconds. That's not bad to be that close to the leader. Obviously, you get the effect of dirty air stretching it out a little bit. But yeah, that's brilliant stuff from all the guys there to be so close together.
Yeah, but as you can see, just those first 3 guys, they're really pulling each other along. And as now Lozak is losing a bit of time to the soft guys. He's a bit further down, but he's in the DRS again.
So it looks like he's tied it. He's gaining. He's doing a lot of late braking. So he's gaining on the braking sections.
Yeah, also because Ferocious Dan is so close to Aaron, obviously he can't break too late because he will lose the downforce, and that's where Lozak can then catch up again.
Yeah, so brilliant stuff from our front runners. Again, look, yeah, just closing right back. So I think you're right there. It is probably that Ferocious Dan. Be a little bit more cautious on those softs, not wanting to go into the front of, into the back of Aaron J.
Now very close, Lozak. Will he make the move or will he wait to the next DRS section? Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah, be brave to go in through there, I think, but we'll soon see what happens in the next section. So yeah, again, look, closing up in those braking phases. But obviously he won't have traction.
He's just sitting so nicely. I don't think it goes through his head now really to overtake, because he's so close to the lead and he will have so much better tires near the end, also on low fuel. So I think he's very comfortable now where he is.
I mean, we've got to remember as well, Wise, that Aaron J and Ferocious Dan, they're going to have to pit somewhere around lap 10, 10, 11. So
yeah,
Lozak will know that. Lozak will know that they've got to pit first. So maybe Lozak is just sitting nicely in lean mix, or as lean as much as possible, and just tick along with these.
And then also on the medium tires, it's also the medium tires. The tire lap is quite good as they're going side by side into the left corner now for the lead. Lozak
beautiful really from Ferocious down there. We actually went on board there when seeing that, so that was a good call there, Warris.
So yeah, so he moved up then. Great stuff. But as I was just saying, it's also the medium tires. The tire life, of course, it goes off, but at the end of the stint, you will still be able, because of the fuel getting lower, you will still be able to do kind of the same lap times as you do in the beginning. So he will maybe even be able to really do the same lap times as Aaron and Dan coming out of the pits then.
Yeah,
as soon as they go into new tires.
Just on board with Captain Stiff. There's been an incident between Steen and Captain Stiff. I saw Sab moving and then looked down. Captain Stiff went off and Steen's off as well. They were facing the wrong way. Looks like Steen is well out of it. Yeah, he's well out of it. So unsure what was happening there. We just saw a couple of changes on the table. And then when I flicked to it, Warris, Captain Stiff was facing the wrong way, I believe, and then Mr. Steen was out on the left. It was quite peculiar. So something's happened between them two, unfortunately. Just on board with Aaron J. He's approaching the back of Ferocious Dan. It looks like he's coming back at him. He might actually take the lead here. Has a little sniff on the right-hand side. Backs out of it.
Maybe Aaron is just going to use him now to just get the DRS and save up some ERS, because of course he knows as well that this race is very long still. And as long as I said, as long as you can stay in the DRS, you will be in the fight. So maybe it will just be a strategy from him to just stick in behind right now and let Ferocious Dan do the towing for now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just quickly check the fastest lap, see who's got that. It's actually Lozak that's got the fastest lap, 1:31.144. Well, it's his joint, actually. If you look there, it's joint with Ferocious Dan. They've got the exact same lap time.
Wow. That's incredible.
For anybody listening out there, can anyone tell us why it's registered Lozak as the fastest lap? It's interesting.
Yeah, it's quite weird because normally it's the first one to put in the lap.
Yeah, and so maybe that is the case then.
Yeah, that would be with Dan then.
Yeah, that's interesting that, yeah. So if anyone out there knows that, do enlighten us. Let the rest of our viewers know as well. If you can comment on the stream thread, that would be greatly appreciated. Give us an insight into that. So just looking down now, we've only had Captain Stephen Steen obviously pitting for the damage they received during that incident. Everyone else still going strong. We're not going to see much movement from other pit strategies.
Oh, someone's happened to Nick? Or was it? No, RG.
Oh yeah, Nick.
RG.
I think it was Nick. Nick and Tanker. They stopped, didn't they?
Oh, there's some touching and Lozak goes very wide. And he's made the move. Yeah, he has. Wow.
Sorry I missed that, guys. Do apologise. Yeah, so on board with Aaron J now. He's been passed again. Ferocious Dan leads this race. Lozak in P2 and then Aaron J in P3.
So it seems like Aaron's tires are really going up now because it's hard for him to keep up the pace at this point, it seems.
Yeah, we're just seeing Colin J and Matty swapping positions there. Eyes in the pit, I do apologise. So yeah, on board with Estimates, he's still sitting pretty close to Humberstone.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Lozak is going for the lead now.
Yeah, sorry, Boris.
And he's done it. Great move. Lozak really having the better tires now, it seems, and he is making the moves now. Let's see if he can break away now as well.
So are these soft tires starting to go off, do you think? Are they overheating?
Yeah, around lap 7, 8, they normally just are starting just to get worse, and the lap time seems to goes off. So those guys on the softs seem to have a hard time keeping them alive.
Yeah, just on board with R&J now.
Dan can come back now.
Yeah, we're just on board with R&J, watching this battle at driver view, coming through Maggots and Beckett's, and now navigating Chapel. Just coming down the back straight there. Go back to broadcast view, but yeah, it's an interesting battle from these three because.
Oh, he's going to the inside.
I wouldn't have expected the soft tyre to be overtaken by a medium sitter until after the pit stops, but obviously we've seen it there. Lozak's making those tyres work for him.
Yeah, probably Lozak has been behind them and at first thought, okay, I'm just going to stick behind and wait to the pit stops.
Do you see an MJ Coupe get past Sab there? Sorry to break you off, Warris. MJ Coupe's just slid past Sab, and Sab's also got Matty on his tail. All these three guys are on mediums. So it'll be interesting to see if, again, we're seeing more change. Oh no, we've got an off. Humberstone's off. Humberstone's off and span.
Shame. Yeah, and MJ Coupe also making a really great progression.
Coupe's on the back of Humberstone. Coupe's on the back. He moves to the right. Oh, and he locks up. Sorry to break you off there, but yeah, Coupe was approaching the back of Humberstone.
Yeah, he's really doing a good job, I was just saying.
Yeah, I wondered if he was going to go for it, but he backed out of it, locked up on his front right. But he's now back on him. Wow.
Yeah, probably saw my race on Monday because I tried to go for the move into that one as well, and it cost me the race. So a good decision there from Coupe.
So Sab just having another cheeky look at Coupe because he's getting slowed down Humberstone. Humberstone's tyres are going to be on fire. They're going to be very, very slippy, at least for another 3/4 of a lap. So MJ Coupe's trying to capitalise on that. Coupe will know that his tyres have been burnt. And Sab, I think he's just sitting back up and these two will take them out. Each other out, but obviously Coupe's experience, he's not going to do that. But I'd be a little bit closer if I was Sab, because Sab will know that Humberstone's had an issue. I would expect these two to try and pounce on this situation, but the more time they leave it, the cooler these tyres get from being burnt out, and his grip will come back. So Coupe needs to make a move, and he needs to make a move now.
Yeah, and as R&J comes into the pits now, so he is going for the undercut on Dan. By the way, Lozak re-extending the gap right now, and he seems to have the best pace out of those three. But R&J Spence going for the undercut then.
Yeah, so we've seen R&J drop down in the tables there as he's still in the pits, making his way down that pit straight. Unbelievably slow compared to race pace. You won't believe how slow time feels when you're in the pits. MJ Coupe picking up a penalty. We saw him go a little bit wide there, cutting the corner, just trying to make up as much time. But I do believe Humberstone's tyres have come back a little bit now. They're not moving as much under acceleration. So I believe the window of opportunity for Cooper's gone. He's going to have to rely on race pace and driver skill as we're just on board. He moves to the right now. Is he going to go around the outside and make it move? Stick. Oh no, we see Humberstone spin. Humberstone spun. I just saw it in the left-hand mirror of MJ Coupe, and we just saw Humberstone's car going sideways. So Coupe's managed to make it happen. Maybe I was wrong about Humberstone's tyres. Maybe they were still a little bit burnt out and just weren't quite back to where they should be. Humberstone got caught out by that. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happened with Humberstone. Sab now on the back of MJ Coupe's gearbox. Is he going to try and make a move? You see, Sab's also got Matty on the back of him on the same tyre. Oh, Matty going really, really cutting the corner there. Surprised he didn't get a penalty for that. But yeah, we were on board with Matty. We're on board with Sab, and we saw in the background Matty just majorly cut the corner that they'd just gone through onto the grass, almost taking out one of the marker boards. See, Frost stands in the pit now, so that releases MJ Coupe. Where will Coupe be? He's coming down. He's going to overtake him. So that releases
now
Coupe.
It's a question if Aaron can overtake him, if he's had a very good outlap or just not. They could come out very closely together.
He's going to be neck and neck, this, I believe, mate. Oh, he's out the pit. He's out the pits. Oh, it's going to be tight. This is going to be tight. Oh, he does it on the outside. But can he keep it clean?
Wow. Yeah, very good from Aaron.
Wow, so there you go. The undercut did work, but not by a massive margin. It worked, but they are literally toe to edge here. Be interested to see if Ferocious Dan can capitalise on this, but his tyres are warmed up. Aaron James aren't warmed up. They've only had the benefit of the tyre blankets. So could this play into Ferocious Dan's hands? Can he come back to him? We will soon see by the end of this lap. If you don't make it on the first lap, he's probably missed his chance. So coming down the international pit straight. Or the national pit straight.
And from this point, of course, Aaron and Dan will probably be just having a little bit of time on Lozak, so they will be a bit quicker. So it's just a question how long Lozak will extend now, and how far he will come out behind them. To then at the end of the race probably attack again on those softs.
Estimat's pitting, Warris. Estimat's pitting. Cheers for the information, by the way, mate. It was very insightful. But yeah, Estimat's is now in the pits. So he's going to come down. He's going to drop out probably around Colin Jay's area. Colin Jay's gone onto the hards, by the way. So he's going to try and make that go all the way to the end. But obviously, you can drive them harder, but the general difference in traction, you know, the lap delta time, I'm not even sure if you drove them to the hills, you'd get a fast enough lap time to make them work. What do you think, Warris, about the hards?
No, the hards, they're really a no-go. It's weird to see Colin really go onto the hards. Can't really find a reason why he would do that, actually.
Well, the only reason I can think is obviously he's going to drive them harder without having to tyre conserve. But yeah, 14 laps to go. He's already done 3 laps on them, sorry, 4 laps on them for Captain Stiff. So he's going to do a lot of laps on those, but drive them hard. What I'm trying to say is, could you actually get the benefit out of the hards, be more resilient, and make up the delta deficit?
I don't think so, mate, because also on this track you can push the mediums quite hard, and you don't have to do a lot of tire conserving.
Yeah.
So I don't think there will be much of a difference in pushing on the tires.
Yeah,
and Ferocious Dan is now overtaken Aaron. Something has happened to Aaron, and he's retired.
What?
So,
oh wow.
The guy who could have gone for the race lead is now out of this race.
Oh wow. So we've just lost. So it must have been an incident there.
And Mr. Steen is retired as well. I don't think it's got anything to do with each other, but so what a blow for Aaron. Also to his championship, because of course he was up there.
I mean, that was an epic performance from Aaron J so far. Be interested to find out exactly what happened. So if we get any of our media representatives that have the inside information on that, do let us know. Just looking down at the battles that we've got going on. Lozak's out in front. Oh, it's Mr. Steen's car. Yeah, Lozak out in front by a good 12 seconds now. Not pitted yet, obviously. TB23, his teammate. Yeah, really trailing. But MJ Coop, he's starting to reel TB23 in, and Sab is now trailing by 1 second. So I went one way there. Sab was on the back of MJ Coop.
Sorry to interrupt you. I've just got some information on the crash with Mr. Steen.
Yeah.
So it seems like Stiff is spun, and Mr. Steen drove into him. So also that, very unfortunate. Big shame for him as well. So yeah.
So
the driver's okay, it seems, so that's good.
Yeah, well, the second you get any inside information on Aaron J, do let us know, mate, as well.
Aaron says now, he just says now, I just lost the back end like an idiot, so I'm just quoting him. Yeah, just a real driver mistake then.
Oh, unfortunately for Aaron J. Well, all I can say is Aaron J, unlucky, mate. You drove phenomenally in the first part. Bounced back stronger for round 4, mate. Again, Alamonda moving up a position on Ike's Fun. We're going to flick to Tanker because he's sitting pretty behind Nick with Estimats nipping at his heels. Estimats is on fresh tyres. These guys haven't stopped yet, so we're going to see Estimats move up. Let's just quickly put on the leader. So Estimats is 40 seconds back from the leader. He's going to make up 25, so he'll be sitting 15 seconds. So he's probably end up around P4 after the pit stops, I would reckon. But then he'll probably slip back because the other guys will be on fresher tyres. But so yeah, keep an eye on Estimats, everyone. He's going to jump up the order pretty quickly, but then he'll be under attack almost immediately from everyone else.
Yeah, now Dan is really making progression. Of course, he's gaining time on Lozak probably. It's just going to be a question how much further ahead of Lozak he can come as soon as he pits. And then, of course, it's going to be all about defending for him. Because Lozak will have, I expect, massive pace near the end.
Yeah, I imagine so, mate. Oh, we just see the Ferrari going wide there. Tanker went wide. Oof. He has kept it, but... Yeah, Estimax is coming back at him now, going down the right-hand side. He's going to have the inside line coming into the next corner. He takes it, yep. So Estimax has taken it on merit there. Estimax himself going a little bit wide, but yeah, we just saw Tanker just get a little bit wide on the previous corner. He really cut it. I mean, he got fully on the grass and the dirt there. And obviously Estimax has benefited from Tanker having... Yeah, Tanker comes in now. He's decided to bite the bullet on lap 13. Probably a little bit earlier than what we'd imagine on the mediums. You could maybe push them to 15, 16. But yeah...
Yeah, but obviously you can also go 10, 11 laps on the soft. So maybe you prefers that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So interested to see what Tanker can do when he comes out. We're still yet to see... Lozak, TB23, MJ Coops, Sab and Ferocious Dan's pitted, sorry. So yeah, Ferocious Dan sitting very... No, he's 11, 20... Oh, he'd be close with Ferocious Dan, actually. He might come out in P2 when the likes of Lozak, TB23, MJ Coops and Sab...
does pit now, so now it's going to be very interesting.
So TB, that releases TB. So, will TB come in the pits? That is the question. Yes, he comes in the pits. That releases MJ Coop. Or will he come in the pits?
It's going to be a very hard pit stop for the Racing Point guys.
Ooh, you got a really good point there. Let's just see what happens. He's only just getting to the pit box now. They were separated by 12 seconds. That should be enough. I don't know.
He's got to wait. Lozak's got to wait. Something very, very weird happens. Oh, I think it was a glitch of the game.
It's alright. He's clear. He is clear. TB2. Yep. So, though, see, MJ Coop stays out.
Okay.
MJ Coop stays out.
Got a good pit stop there. Versus Dan now coming onto the straight. Lozak. Dan. And then it's going to be very close again. And he's just behind him. So this is the point. If Dan wants to do something, he's got to do it now. Because he's got the warmer tires. He's got the DRS right now. But
let's just see what Coop can do. Out in front. When will he come into pit? Surely he's going to come into pit soon, Morris, because these guys have got fresh rubber. Does it make sense to stay out? You know,
no, I don't think it wouldn't, because they're just having massive pace behind him now. So he should pit this lap, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Unless MJ Coop's banking on the extra tyre life being benefit.
Obviously, that could be something, or a sudden safety car, but apart from that,
yeah,
it's going to be hard to stay out any longer.
I think that ship has sailed, mate. The safety car strategy, yeah, I think if it didn't happen straight away, yeah, it's pointless. It's futile, mate.
So first is Dan now 5-6 tenths behind, but it's just not enough. And I think from this point, Lozak's tires will be warm, and he's going to start really pulling away from Dan.
Oh, Sab just got a penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunately, that's not what Sab wanted to see when he's coming in for his pit stop. So that's 5 seconds to Sab. That'll be added to his race time at the end of the race, plus any other including penalties. Estimax now up into 4th place. Interesting from Estimax. He started on the soft, so I mean he's only got 9 laps to go on those mediums. It still takes him to 14 laps, which is pretty much its tyre expectancy, I would imagine. But the lighter fuel load, you know, could swing in his favour. He could be banking on these soft guys having extremely warm tyres at the end. So yeah, watch this space for Estimax. Let's just remind everyone where he started. Estimax started 8th place.
Yeah, and Coop started also very low down. Coop has gained 11 positions, so he started 16th.
That's so impressive.
So great work from the Red Bull guys after that massive accident in qualifying.
Yeah, so Colin J up into P7 on those hards. I'm actually quite surprised at that. He has made way. So, not bad for Colin J, mate. That is quite impressive. Ixfun getting a penalty as well, as we're talking there. Oh, just on board with Colin J as we spoke, actually. He's right on the back of Sab. Sab's on softs. Colin J's on hards. But, you know, Colin J was making some serious time there. He's got DRS. So he'll be able to utilise that. Really, if he can make this move stick, it'd be really interesting. Sab going a little bit wide there. We saw through the halo of Colin J that Sab went wide, coming out onto Vale, towards Vale. He's dropped back a little bit now. He's still within DRS range though. But saying that, he didn't open his wing coming down the home finish straight. That was strange. That was very strange. He was.
So someone who's also not going to open his wing now anymore is probably Dan, because he's for the first time outside the DRS window, and that means it's time for Lozak to really take off now into a massive lead again.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to keep track of that, Warris, and both of those races seemed to be within the 1 second across the DRS, but they didn't. We must have been mistaken, or the drivers didn't hear the beep and think they didn't get it.
Yeah, a bit of a not incident there, yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange. I mean, I would have put money on the fact that they had the DRS then, but yeah, could be mistaken. Just looking at RG44 on the softs, approaching the back of Matty. Matty's sitting pretty in P8 on fresh softs, but RG44 does seem to be raking in those tenths on him. Tanker, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Humblestone, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Wow. That's interesting. Why is it? Can you do us a quick check on the penalties? We're getting to the the closing stages now.
I was just going to ask you that. So
yeah, if you can, mate, that'd be really. Just give us a rundown.
So, Lozak has got a penalty actually. I think we missed that. So it's a 3-second penalty for Lozak. Ferocious Dan has got only 1 warning. TB also got 1 penalty. Estimates got 1 penalty. MJ Coop has got 1 penalty. Sab's got 2 penalties actually.
Wow, so
Colin has got no penalties. RG has got 1 penalty. And Matty has got 1 penalty. So the only one without a penalty now is Ferocious Dan. So if he can stay within 3 seconds, it's going to be all.
Well, I was to say, from what you said there, if I was following correctly, Ferocious Dan is technically P1 at the minute. Estimats is technically P3 at the minute. MJ Coop keeps P5. And I think everyone else is kind of similar, if I got that right, if I followed correctly. But, yeah, so again, penalties could still play a big part in this. I think what Ferocious Dan, or what Lozak wants to see is Ferocious Dan get a penalty. Otherwise, he's going to lose this win.
Yeah, but of course he's got the pace over Ferocious Dan at this moment, because he's pulled away 1 second over the last lap. So it's going to be crucial for him to keep pushing, and he is not able to just keep it this way. So he's got to find 1 more second.
Yeah, I was just looking as well at the constructors. Obviously, this is going to play into the hands of the Racing Points, because they're already sitting in P1 for the constructors. So this will really boost their constructors title fight. And then next is the Alfa Romeos. Now, obviously, look at the Alfa Romeos. They're not going to. Aaron J is already out. We've got Colin J still running, but down in P7. So they're going to lose some valuable points here. Renault, again, bit of a disappointing turnout for Renault today. I heard they had some issues on the other car that stopped the other car getting to the circuit. So there's only RG44 that can really bring it home for the team. So we're seeing 2 of the top 3 constructors going to struggle to retain their positions after this race, and we're going to see some chopping and changing, not only in the Drivers' Championship standings, but the constructors as well. So very interesting from that point of view, Warris.
Yeah, really, the Racing Points looking in really good shape this season, because they always seem to be there, certainly at the end of the race. And those guys, even though Lozak, I think he told us last time out that they didn't really work together that much, but still they seem to get the results in. So
Yeah.
Good job from them.
I mean, the biggest winners, I would imagine, other than the racing points, is going to be the Red Bulls. You know, Estimats and MJ Coupe, they're currently sat down in 6th place. And if they get those positions they're sat in now, that's going to boost them up. And they might even take P4, P3 position, the constructors. So, yeah, we've got 2 fights on here, not just the drivers, it's the constructors as well. So, wide open again. Hopefully it stays like this till the end of the season. You know, it keeps us guessing.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, really, I think the way the Red Bulls have returned from qualifying is great, because it was disastrous. I believe MJ Coupe just spun out and Estimats drove in the back into him. So now they're P4 and P5. So great job from them, and also the working together has been good, because they're just behind each other and they're still going very well. As Estimats is also very close to TB. Maybe you can pick up the podium position in the end.
So yeah, so it just seems to have concertinaed out again now because of those pit stops. There's no one really in contention other than RG on the back of Colin J. Everyone else is quite substantially back from everyone, so we're not going to really see much fighting going on apart from these two at the minute. That could change. We've got 5 laps to go. Wear and degradation could play a part in the final closing stages of this race, but as it stands, this is the main battle on track.
Yeah, and Lozak only needs 2 more tenths to get the race win now. Versus Dan will be pushing like mad to stay inside that 3 seconds.
RG getting in front of Colin J there. He's made the move stick, mate. So yeah, we have seen him move in front. RG is now sitting 2.3 seconds back from Sab, who's his next victim. So let's see if RG can push on and get some precious points for Renault here.
Yeah, he's doing quite good. I saw him put in a few fastest laps, a few laps back. So the pace seems to be good at his side. So maybe he can get some more positions near the end of the race now.
So he's going to ride on board with Sab. Let's see what his traction's like on those soft tyres. He's done 5 laps. RG's done 1 lap extra. So we're just going to stay on board with Sab at the minute, just to see what he's doing like with traction, whether he's overcooked them or whether he's been saving them. Maybe he's relying on RG pushing too much to catch up and Sab saving. I mean, these are things that we don't know as commentators. The guys may very well be, just taking it easy, and then when they've saved up the battery and saved tyre wear, kick out a good 1 or 2, maybe even 3 hot laps and push out, hoping that the battery and the tyre wears of the other drivers have suffered. So, it's all speculation. It's things I'd love to know. I'd love to have the official FIA timing screen, but we don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're entirely right on that one.
No, I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to have 10 screens around me filled with data that I can just, the Matrix style of commentators, just an abundance of information at our disposal.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. But for now, we can only just look at the race director and see, obviously, what kind of penalties these guys have.
Warris, I'm getting, while you're doing that, mate, I'll just say one thing. I'm getting really nervous for the fight between P1 and P2 and P3 and P4 because it's a similar strategy. It's a soft against medium. So P1 and P2 running soft and medium, P3 and P4 running soft and medium, and they're identical lap times. So we're actually seeing battle of the strategies twice. It's an identical situation. The only difference is Ferocious stands 3.8 back from Lozak, and Estimats is 5.1 back from TB23. So super interesting point where we see the battle of the strategies in a mirror image on track.
So there's a little update on Estimats. So Estimats has got 1 penalty more than TB at this point, which means TB has got 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds up actually on Estimats, and MJ Coupe has got 1 penalty, which means that if he can get into 3 seconds, he will get that position, but it doesn't really look like that. Ferocious Dan at this point 3.7 seconds behind, so it's going to be very hard for him. He almost needs a mistake from Lozak now to get that win on penalties.
Yeah, I mean, he's done board with RG44 now, coming through Cops, and we're just going to see what he can do coming through Maggots and Beckett's, and whether I'm sorry, did I get that wrong? I believe I did. My apologies, guys. I thought he was coming through Cops, but he wasn't. Sincere apologies, guys. But yeah, we are still on board with RG, just seeing what he can do. Wow, he was actually up on his time there, was RG. So he's pushing. He really is pushing. Let's ride on board with him and see what he can do on the back of Sab. He's really chewing on his gearbox. Really interesting battle here, Warris. What do you think of the RG battle? Do you think he'll make this? Do you think he'll make the move on Sab before the end?
I'm just looking at it now. He's alongside.
And he's always got left. So there you go. As I said, he did it.
Ah, great job. Great job.
So I think
his pace seems very good at this point. So Seb tries to come back.
A little bit of a touch there. But yeah, I think that's the opposite of the commentator's curse. That's the commentator's will. You know, we said, is he going to make it move stick? And he did. So yeah, so we might have to coin that one, mate.
He already did it. So yeah, that was a good one for me.
I think we should coin that one, mate. If there's going to be a commentator's curse, there's got to be a commentator's blessing. So let's keep that one in mind for the rest of the season.
We're the only commentators who can give you a blessing instead of a curse. That's how good we are.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Oh, I've just seen RG go take a little bit too much on that corner as he came out. That's compromising him a little bit. As we see Sab approaching him. He's got the slipstream. DRS is open. Just doesn't quite make the move stick there. Oh, he went wide coming down towards Vale. So takes Vale coming through Club Corner. He's on the back of him. He's going to get DRS coming over the home finish straight. Yeah, so Sab was actually down on his fastest time coming over there, even though he's made progression on the back of RG44. Maybe the reason being is because he's behind RG44 and needs to get that move done. So what I would say to Sab is, you know, pull your socks up, lads, and get this move done because you need to get past him.
Yeah, they're still very close to each other, so that's a nice fight going into the last lap actually, as Lozak is almost starting that right now. The gap has come down a little bit, and Verstappen is only 3.7 behind him. So
this 7/10 of being close. So technically he's 8/10 back. Is that what you're saying, Morris?
Yeah. So he needs the best lap of his life to get this win. But yeah, Lozak is also going to be pushing massively and giving everything he's got in this last lap. This could still be a very exciting one. Even though it isn't an on-track battle, it is an on-time battle, sort of.
Yeah, so if you just keep me posted on Lozak's position on track, when we get to Sector 2, we'll switch to the leaders. I'm going to stick with Sab on the back of RG. So yeah, just give me a heads up when they're in Sector 2, Warris, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So on the back of RG, Sab's going to make... Oh, he's really close there. He's literally sucking on the fumes coming out the back of RG44. This is going to be interesting if he can make this stick. It's the National Pit Straight coming down, approaching Copse Corner, coming through the super fast section all the way now to it's all the way from now to Stowe. It's going to be hell for leather in the slipstream of RG. Can Sab make this stick? He's all over the back of him now, Warris. I'm gutted I've asked you to keep track of the front runners because there's an epic battle from Sab and RG.
Yeah, so Lozak just coming through maggots and baggage now. Gap is still 3.7 seconds, so it seems in the bag for him.
Wow. So, if I've got that right...
So just one corner to go now, one chicane to mitigate for Lozak, and then he's going to pick up his third win already of this season. Massive job again.
Wow. So there you go.
Best strategy of the house. And
so far, Lozak crosses
again.
the line, Warris, and that is 3 wins from 3 races. Ferocioustan takes P2. Absolute fantastic from those two. And we're going to see the other racing point coming across the line, provisionally in P3. We think Estimats has got penalties as well, so we'll see what happens when he crosses the line. TBT, yeah, takes P3 now. Let's see what happens when Estimats crosses the line. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, Estimats keeps... TB2 does keep P3. MJ Coop, absolute fantastic race from Coop, who takes P5.
Wow, came from so far back.
Just put the position changes up for you there, guys. Coop up 11 positions. RG comes across. Oh, RG loses it on penalties. MJ Coop 5th. Colin J 6th. RG drops down to P7. Sab takes P8. Matty takes P9. Humberstone takes P10. Tanker takes P11. Just about to watch Gaming Alamonda come across the line. So yeah, Tanker fails to score points. Gaming Alamonda fails to score points, but comes across the line. As we're coming through Cops now. Being chased by Captain Stiff. I imagine penalties might play a part because Captain Stiff's got penalties. Yeah, Gaming Alamonda P12. Captain Stiff P13. And Nick way down in P14. Unfortunate from Nick. Was it
Nick coming over the line now almost without a front wing.
Yeah.
He only got a few wooden planks on it, but manages to finish. So still well done to him.
Wow. So, Warris, if you could do us a favour and just speak to our media representative and get our podium sitters into the interview box, may we see. I'll just run down. There you go. The Racing Points taking some valuable points to stay in the lead. And with the McLaren taking some also valuable points for the third instalment of Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance as the champagne flows. So let's just recap round 3 of the Invictus Racing League Formula 2 Equal Performance. Round 3, Lozak taking 3 for 3. It's the triple crown of race wins so far for Lozak. P2 is Ferocious down in the McLaren. Then we've got TB2, Lozak's teammate in P3. Estebat's in P4, MJ Coupe P5. A phenomenal race from MJ Coupe. I would put him down for driver of the day personally. Don't know about you, Warris. Colin J in P6, RG44 in P7, Sab in P8. Unfortunately from Sab, it was an absolute fantastic race we saw from Sab. But then we've got Matty in P9, Humberstone in P10, Tanker 903 in P11. We've got Gaming Alamonda in P12, Captain Stiff in P13, Nick J Thompson in P14, Ike's Fun in P15, and Aaron J in P16, and Mr. Steen in P17. So an absolute ferocious race there.
Yeah, so that was a very, very good race, and we can really, the strategies from those guys were incredible.
Yeah, we saw chopping and changing there. I mean, we saw loads of battles, and the strategy we saw as well. You know, the mediums to the softs. I wasn't expecting that. We said that in the hot laps, didn't we? We just weren't expecting it at all. So just waiting for the racers to join us in the commentary box. It's been really interesting to see exactly what the guys were thinking as they went through all those.
Yeah, so we've got Lozak already, and we're just waiting for Dan and TB, but we can start already.
Ah, perfect. Right. Yeah, I can do, mate. Yeah, so Lozak, welcome to the podium once again, mate. And it's 3 wins from 3 races, mate. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, very, very proud because Silverstone was a bit tricky also with the wet quali, so I couldn't put a lap together in the quali and start third, but then got a really nice slipstream in the first laps from Dan, etc. So it was a very good race, and shame for Aaron who died, because I would like to have a battle once again with him, and so very, very proud.
Yeah, really good job from you. And we just wanted to ask you, when you saw that Aaron and Dan went on the soft to medium instead of the medium to soft, which you were doing, were you actually happy, or were you afraid that they were going to pull away from you in the beginning?
I don't know, because at the one moment I was happy, like you said, because I thought that I could follow them in the first laps and not use many ERS, but at the same time I was afraid that they could pull away from me and start to build a little gap that in the last part of the race could be very, very tricky to overtake them. So, but it went for me very good, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, that was just a massive job from you. What have you got to add on that, Dan?
Well, to be honest with you, I was really nervous for Lozak, watching the strategy calls from all the other guys. It was unclear at the start whether the mediums to softs would work. But yeah, I just thought it was super interesting that most of the racers decided to really kept it alive. And for us, it was great to commentate on because it provided towards the end two identical converse strategies that were running side by side. You know, we had a soft runner and a medium runner in P1, P2. Then we had a soft and a medium runner in P3, P4. So, yeah, the only thing that I was a bit gutted about was the penalties that played a part in changing. It's never nice to see penalties do it, but Lozak, you kept it very clean, mate. And I think that's probably one of the things that was really positive for you, other than the win itself. Was keeping your racing lines clean and not picking up as many penalties as the guys behind you. So, congratulations, mate, and what a superb drive.
Yeah, because in the end, just as last week, I believe, you did have a penalty and Dan didn't. So that last lap made you really have to push, didn't it? Because you were only like a few tenths ahead of Dan on paper.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure once again because I had really early, once again, penalty of 3 seconds and then didn't have all the race. So I was always looking at the gap, 3.5 and something like that with the last laps. And my tires also was starting to struggle a little bit, soft and last 2 laps maybe. So it was really fun to drive because I have to push all corners and not pick another penalty. So it was really good.
No, good stuff, lads. Thanks ever so much for that, mate. And just one last question before we let you go, mate. And that's the confidence going forward for the championship, the drivers' championship especially, but also the constructors. You got 3 wins from 3. That must be a particular positive boost for you in the confidence for the drivers' championships. I mean, every driver's aiming for it, but does that confirm to you that you're in a strict running for it, and that's what you're going for? You think you can achieve it this season?
Yeah, I think that obviously it's a really good starting point, but there will be a few races where things can go wrong, or retirements or DNF or something like that. So it's obviously really good to have a nice gap of points with the second the championship, and I will keep pushing, but will come probably also the hard times. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, may I just ask you one last thing, Lozak? Are you actually driving with assist or without assist, or what assist are you using?
I'm using ABS, or only ABS.
Wow.
Okay.
So no traction control, mate. Well, as we say where I'm from, I tip my cap to you, sir. That is a very impressive feat to be that fast with no traction control. Whereas I know you were last season, you got the championship like that. So Lozak, if you can get the championship this season on no assists, we will probably see you in F1 next season, my friend. But yeah, respect for going no assists.
Yeah, but then
on the traction.
the only thing because no assist is without ABS as well. So I don't know if you've got any experience with that, because if you have, you could maybe possibly already move up this season.
Yeah, I think that I never drive with no ABS.
Okay.
I just removed some weeks ago the traction, so I'm let's say learning with no traction, and
impressive.
maybe later on I will also remove the ABS.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Super impressive, Lozak. Super impressive, mate. So yeah, congratulations on your 3rd win from your 3rd race. Shaping up to be quite a debut season for you, my friend. So I think we've copped you long enough. Thank you ever so much for your time on the podium again. On to Russia next time. How do you feel about Russia, my friend?
Yeah, I don't know because I don't have many many much time to practice at Russia
Oh,
and
okay.
also in the career mode, so it will
It'd be
almost a
interesting.
new track for me.
Ah,
Oh,
right. So,
he's trying to put himself already in the underdog
yeah,
position.
I
Very
saw that as
far,
well.
very
I
far
like
from
that.
you.
I saw that. So, okay. Lozak, thank you ever so much for joining us, mate. I'll let you get off, mate. Congratulations again, and we'll see you next week in Russia. So, good luck, my friend.
Yeah, and I'm afraid you can only win 2 more races because otherwise you're going to break my record. So please don't do that.
Cheers.
See you later. Good night,
Okay, good night,
good night,
mate.
Lozak. Well, Warris, there you go, mate. I don't believe the other racers have made it to the interview box because they're being hounded by the media.
Yeah, and they
Down.
also had some issues together, so I think they're just talking out something that happened during the race.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really. I believe they're at the steward's office right now,
So,
but it was great to speak with Lozak again.
So fisticuffs in the steward's office for our other
Yeah,
podium
maybe it was
sitters.
a bit like Ocon against Verstappen. I don't hope so, but
Yeah,
no, I don't think so. Everyone has got lots of respect for each other here, so
they have. That they
I
have,
think
my
we'll
friends.
see them fighting again next week.
We certainly will, mate. Now, just I'm going to quickly before we sign off. I'm going to bring up the finishers tonight. Obviously, Lozak taking his third win from 3 races, absolute phenomenal. And then Ferocious Dan, who got that P2, he's going to jump up from P5. 13 makes 25. So yeah, he's going to jump up to P2. Let's just check where Aaron J finished. Yeah, Aaron J didn't. So yeah, Aaron J's knocked down. Well, I'll tell you what, it would take us a while to run through that because a lot of people have changed. But if anyone listening, if you go on the website for Invictus Racing League, you get on the tables, or we'll certainly update the tables for you so you can see them on our media streams, just so you can see the change in the tables. But I'm looking forward to Russia. I don't know about you, Warris, because we've seen some serious changes tonight in the constructors and the drivers' tables. It's really flipped it on its head.
Yeah, and it's also going to be very interesting because it's a track that isn't driven a lot around in league racing, not in Invictus Racing League as well. So it will be a new track, as Lozak told us already, for a lot of drivers, which is going to really show the drivers who can be quick instantly on a track. So yeah, that will be just very exciting. And Russia is also a very tricky track on penalties because it's so easy to corner cut. So that's also maybe unfortunately going to be a big factor next week.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I personally find Russia a very tricky circuit to do. I mean, it's you almost, when you first approach Russia, you think it could be an easy circuit, but it's actually super difficult because it's quite an open circuit in terms of, there's not many technical areas. It's more like you have to be more precise. Not because it's technical, just because it's different types of corners. It's
and also because it's I think the first 10-20 laps you do on it, not in the race, but just when you start practicing, can be very frustrating because almost every lap you're just going to be invalidated because you really have to practice the track a lot to know when you have to steer in, and it's also you got to brake, but it's not brake and steer in. It's got to brake and then wait a little bit, wait for and then steer in.
Bit of brake trailing.
It's very difficult to get the right steering angle, get the right steering point, and so this is also a track. It's just, there's a lot of people who don't like it, but it's a track that can really show the guys who are really good at this game.
Yeah, I think one of the big ones for me for Russia is concentration. It's so easy to lose your rhythm, and that spoils your concentration. So, guys, tune in next week to watch it because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think it's going to be what we would call a curveball race, whether that be from strategies or whether it's penalties. It'd be super interesting. So, yeah, guys, do join us next week. I think we've kept you long enough tonight. But yeah, join us next week for round 4. Warislander and I will be doing the Hot Laps edition, 7 o'clock UK time, and then an hour from 7 o'clock we're doing the main event, which is the qualifying and race, from 8 o'clock sharp. Wow, Warislander, that was a phenomenal race. Any closing statements from you, mate?
I just want to thank you for the great commentary again. It was nice to do it with you. And yeah, I'll see everyone next week.
Fantastic. Yeah, cheers, Wieslander, and I'll see you 7 o'clock sharp next Wednesday for Hot Laps. Guys, if you've been watching, thank you for joining us. If you're joining us post-race, you're watching us back on YouTube, welcome. Obviously, any new watchers, welcome to the league. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you can, just hit that bell up on the right-hand side, the subscribe and bell. It'll let you know every time we go live, so you don't have to keep track. You'll get a notification, we go live, and then you can tune in and watch us. Of course, Invictus Racing League has other leagues. We do have the No Assist League, the Formula 1 No Assist League. Super impressive from those guys, and it's super competitive racing. That happens on a Monday, same time, 8 o'clock. So by all means, go back and watch post races or watch it live on a Monday. Then Tuesday we've got...
I'll be there as well if you like to see me.
I knew you'd chip in there. Yeah, we will see Wieslander, last season's Formula 2 champion, who's in Formula 1 No Assist. So yeah, tune in to see Wieslander. We'll see if his commentary skills are as good as his racing skills. And then yeah, Tuesdays we've got our Performance League, where all the races involved, it's performance, so all the racing is constructor related. So if you're in the Williams, you're in the slower car. If you're in the Mercedes, you're in the faster car. But then the next race, depending on your position, you get assigned either the slower or faster car. So it kind of levels it out, and you tend to see the field of the drivers and the constructors kind of be quite level. So yeah, do join the guys for that. All our races are commentated on, so you'll have an array of commentators bringing us all those events. And of course on Wednesdays we have the F2 and F3. F3 happens at the same time as F2, so once you guys have finished watching this, go back and watch F3. I guarantee it'll have just as much action as F2 did. And of course on Thursday nights we have Gareth and Sab, our beloved duo, giving us the Invictus Racing League podcast. Super informative podcast that informs about the real life Formula 1 and of course what's happened on the track for the Invictus Racing League tiers throughout. So do join them. Available on SoundCloud, Podbean, YouTube, live and post race, and I believe it does get uploaded to some other streaming sites. My mind's gone blank. I do apologise. I've talked too much tonight. So guys, yeah, do get us on Twitter. Do get us on Facebook. It's Invictus RL for Twitter. Get a load of the content and get involved in it, guys. But yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. We've kept you long enough. Wieslander was my co-commentator, and I'm Wayne down. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week, 7 o'clock for Hot Laps and 8 o'clock for the live event. See you next week, guys. Take care. Goodbye.